Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ballpark at Rosemont for Game 2 of tonight's Friday Night Lights Series doubleheader. The first game between Plainfield East and Marist, a thrilling walk-off win for Plainfield East 6-5 in our first game of the 2015 Friday Night Lights Series. And that brings you here to game number 2 here on this cold, frigid Friday night in early April between Grant and Mundeline. In a matchup of two teams eager to get games in no matter how cold it is. One team's 2-2, one team's 1-2. Both these schools and a lot of schools here in the Midwest just trying to play with this weather. And they get to play here at the ballpark at Rosemont. As we hit, this game started, or was supposed to start at 6 o'clock. A little delay with the first game ending, and now we're ready to go. Just past 6:30 Central Time between Grant and Mundeline. The Bulldogs of Grant, the visiting team, they will bat first against Mundeline. Their first batter of the game for Grant is number 8, Aaron Bankston. I am Johnny Soul. Eric Katz will join me later on. Thanks for tuning in. And our first pitch of the game is swung and hit into left field, and going back and making the catch, hauling it in, is Amanda Diaz for the Mustangs of Mundeline. And that is out number 1 as Bankston is retired on the first pitch. Coming to bat now will be Maddie Norgott. Grant head coach Mike Dolezal, Mundeline head coach Brett Wilhelm. And it's no 1 ball and no strikes on Norgott. Norgott for Grant. Where's number 1? Bats number 2 in the lineup. That's a strike on the outside corner from the Mundeline pitcher, Brianna Adams. Adams, a lefty pitcher, a right-handed pitcher. She plays travel ball for Mundeline Stampede right near the high school in their main travel ball organization. The 1-2 pitch on Norgott is down low and a little bit outside. It is 2-2. On deck is Kenzie Sankin. And a 2-2 pitch low and outside. And it is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bankston flied to left. This is Norgott. Sankin up next. And that is ball 4. So a 1-out walk brings the 3-hitter Kenzie Sankin to the plate. The rest of Mike Dolezal's lineup goes like this. Batting fourth is number 7, Becca Wold. Batting 5th, number 22, Brianna Smith. Batting 6th will be number 3, Jenna Wilson. Batting 7th, number 5, Sarah Ayala. And batting 8th, number 4, Hannah McCall. And batting 9th, number 2, Kiana Alinbo. 1 ball, 1 strike on Sankin. Mike Dolezal and Dan Bennis are the coaches. Coach Dolezal is at third base. Dan Bennis, the assistant, at first base. And that pitch is fouled away down the right field line. The corner out of play. It's 1-2 on Sankin. Becca Wold is on deck. Brianna Adams in the circle. We'll give you the rest of Mundeline's defense after the pitch. The 1-2, it's a change, foul bat to the screen, and the count is staying at 1 ball and 2 strikes. We saw the left fielder, Amanda Diaz. She made the catch in left on the first out. In center field, Jordan West. And in right field, Hannah Bulgart. That's inside 2-2. Carly Busher is at third. Maddie Zazas is at short. Maria DeVito at second. And Caitlin Griffin at first with the battery of Adams. And Margaret Mahar up the middle, a base hit just past the diving glove. The shortstop, Zazas, it goes right past her and into center. Great effort by the shortstop. But it turns into a base hit for Kenzie Sankin. And she is on. And it's first and second. And one out for Becca Wold. And Wold takes a strike. It's no balls and one strike. Adams, one of three pitchers listed on the roster, one of which, Jamie Hemmer, also an infielder. She's committed to the University of Kansas. Not in the lineup here to start the game. DeVito will be committed to Eastern Illinois. A couple D1 products on this Mundeline Mustangs team, and head coach Brett Wilhelm is also a football coach for Mundeline. The 1-2 pitch. In there on the outside corner, strike three. First strikeout of the game. Right there on the outside corner for the second out of the inning. Brianna Smith will come up. Has the jacket on. Just went downstairs near the field. It is chilly out there. The sun helps a little bit, but certainly frigid. But like we said early on in the season, these teams here at the ballpark at Rosemont ready to go. And you know Coach Wilhelm is ready to go. Being a football coach, she'll take on the weather, and these softball players will do the same thing too. 2 balls, no strikes. Number 22 with 2 on and 2 outs here in the first. And it's 3 balls and no strikes with Jenna Wilson on deck. And the pitch from Adams. And it's in there, 3-1. I'm Johnny Soul. Eric Katz will join us later. Ben Erickson working the camera and producing the stream for us as well up here in the press box on the opening night of the Friday Night Lights series. Game last week was canceled due to the weather. That one popped up. Adams out of the circle makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So 2 on, 2 left with 1 hit against Adams and no runs scored. We go to the bottom of the first. Grant nothing. Mundeline coming up. You're watching the 2015 Friday Night Lights series presented by Worth Sports on the ballpark at Rosemont. Johnny Soul here with you. Ben Erickson running the camera. Eric Katz will join us later as our broadcast partner in the broadcast team. And leading off and taking a ball out of the zone 1-0 is the shortstop, Matty Zazas. Zazas, Busher, DeVito due up here against the Mundeline pitcher, Sammy Kolazic. Check that. Against the Grant pitcher, Hannah McCall. Zazas is 1-1. McCall here, the pitcher for Grant. And the pitch from McCall is high. 2 balls and 1 strike. McCall for Grant is a junior right-handed pitcher. It's 3-1 on Zazas. The spark plug at the top of the lineup for the Mustangs of Mundeline. 3-1 pitch, popped up, foul territory, and on the hands of the batter, and it's all the way out of the reach of the catcher. And it's 2-2. Here's the pitch from McCall, and that is ball 4. I said 2-2. I meant 3-2. Leadoff walk here to start the bottom half of the first inning. And they'll bring up Carly Busher. Good job there by Zazas to see a lot of pitches early, work the count against the starter. And it sets up the third baseman, Carly Busher. And a bunt right at the plate to hit her bat. And it is foul, and it's 0-1. They said the ball was in foul territory as it hit foul first, so quick conference from Coach Dolezal of the Bulldogs to make sure he understands the call. Weird sometimes right at home plate. And you can certainly see the Bushers looking to bunt. The infield in at the corners trying to defend against it. There's a bunt. She pulls back. There goes the runner. Zazas will get to second base with a steal. So Mundeline in business early. Runner on second and nobody out. The Bulldogs of Grant put 2 on in the top half of the inning, but did not score against Brianna Adams. That's foul to the screen. And a count 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Mundeline and head coach Brett Wilhelm, we saw Zazas, the shortstop. This is Carly Busher. On deck will be Maria DeVito. Batting 4th in right field is Hannah Bulgart. Batting 5th, the catcher, Margaret Mahar. Batting 6th and playing first base is Amanda, or check that, in left field, Amanda Diaz. Batting 7th and playing first base is Caitlin Griffin. Batting 8th, the designated player, Megan Eamon. And batting 9th, center fielder is Jordan West. That ball gets away. Zazas will stay at first base, but reaching on the play will be DeVito on the error. Or check that, reaching is Busher on the air, and DeVito will come to the plate. So first and third, nobody out. First baseman, a nice job to get to that ball quickly to prevent Zazas from scoring, but it's still first and third, nobody out. Make it second and third, nobody out, as Carly Busher will take second on the steal. And the big hitter's coming up for the Mustangs. That one is fly deep to center field, over the head, and it'll be down for a base hit. Extra base hit coming around second and going into third with a 2-run triple as Zazas and Busher come around, and it's 2-0 on the 2-run triple by DeVito. That ball hung in the air, got deep past center field, and turns in to a triple. And just like that, the Mustangs are out on top. And that is in there for a strike to Hannah Bulgart, the Mustang right fielder. And the 0-1. That one hung up, and that one's hit deep to left, but that one is caught. Tagging up, though, is DeVito, and she'll score with the third run of the inning. Sacrifice fly by Hannah Bulgart, but it is the first out of the inning, and it'll bring up Margaret Mahar to the plate. So McCall now works with 1 out and nobody on, but 3 runs in outside, and it is 1 ball and no strikes and a 3-0 lead for the Mustangs of Mundeline. And the pitch from McCall, a big swing and a miss. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Just 1 hit in the inning, that triple. There was a walk and an error before that. So 3 runs have scored on the hit, but the hit was a big one. The drive to center field that brought in the first 2 hitters in the lineup that reached. 2-run triple by DeVito, just scored on the sacrifice fly by Bulgart. There's a swing and a miss. Took a little something off, got Mahar to swing and miss. The catcher goes down for out number 2. They'll bring out the left fielder, Amanda Diaz, with 2 outs and nobody on, as McCall looks to regroup here, and that's a pitch that's in there on the corner, and it's 0-1. So the Mustangs off to a good start early on in this game, jumping out on top, swinging a miss, 0-2. You're starting to see now McCall try to settle into a rhythm here and fire the pitches right on through. After she gave up 3 runs, now just trying to limit the damage the rest of her way and see if her offense can get it going. Roller to second base, up throwing and making the play, and that is out number 3. But good start for Mundeline after 1. They lead at 3-0 over Grant. You're watching the 2015 Friday Night Lights Series presented by Word Sports at the ballpark in Rosemont. Back here as we go to the top half of the second inning, and a bouncer foul, just foul by Jenna Wilson there. Wilson didn't run, but it almost worked its way back into fair territory, but the catcher Mahar did get that in foul ground. Jenna Wilson will step here, then the pitch is low into the turf, skipping behind home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. It will be Wilson, followed by Sarah Ayala, and the pitcher Hannah McCall. Here in this top half of the second inning, Grant put 2 runners on base in the first inning, but did not score. against the pitcher Adams, who's in her second inning of work. And the pitch to Wilson is skipping in. It's 2-2. Eric Katz back with us here as we get to the second inning. Eric had the very important position of going to get food for the staff at a local restaurant. Food is very important to us workers. Popped up center field, coming in and making the catch is West for out number 1. Welcome back, Eric.
Thanks, Johnny. Glad to be back. Wasn't too bad out there. Pretty much just had to kind of run back into things. But I'm back now. Always a pleasure.
How was the drive?
Wasn't too bad. Just a little, traffic like normal.
That one is just in front of the glove on the hit by Ayala, but it was trapped and then made by DeVito for out number 2. So that is quickly 2 outs, and the pitcher Hannah McCall will try to help herself as we hit to 2 outs and nobody on for McCall. If she reaches, it'll bring up Kiana Linbo, and that one ripped behind the dugout and into the screen and bounces back into the dugout. No balls and 1 strike on McCall, who is a junior. The Bulldogs have 6 seniors on the team. An experienced group for Coach Dozal. Always nice to have a nice senior class.
Yeah, it's the importance of a senior class is they've been there, done that. They know they have the leadership and also the experience to make a deep run come regionals and state title time.
McCall will be one of those seniors next year, but a key junior pitcher for them here this season. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch from Adams is fouled right past the on-deck circle, and it's 2-2.
It's gone significantly down in temperature. I think it's starting to affect the grip of the ball, Johnny. We remember earlier, the last game we broadcasted, that the ball was coming in significantly faster. Now I see it coming in a little bit slower as it's getting lassoed down the line. And so I think the weather has something to do with that, which affects the pitcher's grip on the ball.
Certainly an adjustment for all of the players out there, and especially the pitcher trying to stay loose out there in the circle. Meanwhile, very good battle here by Hannah McCall, making her counterpart work.
Yes, she is making her work. She's been fouling them off. It's 2-2 right now, and she like earlier, Johnny, when we saw a single happen, it might just happen now.
Bouncer right off the shin, 2-2, and the at-bat stays alive here for McCall. Knows a little bit about making a pitcher work, as McCall is a pitcher herself. Gave up just the 1 hit in the first inning, but it was a triple into deep center field. Now a bouncer right back to the pitcher Adams, and the inning is over. So 3 up and 3 down go the Bulldogs, and after an inning and a half, the Mundeline Mustangs leading by a score of 3-0. You are watching the Friday Night Lights series presented by Word Sports at the ballpark at Rosemont. Back here as we play into the bottom half of the second inning. And Caitlin Griffin will come to the plate. Griffin, Eamon, West due up here against the junior pitcher Hannah McCall. And it's 1-0 on Griffin. The infielder pops it up, and the catch is made by the pitcher, McCall, for out number one. Seen a couple times in this game, both pitchers making plays out of the circle. And that one hauled in, and it's going to bring up the designated player, Megan Eamon. Eamon, spelled E-H-E-M-A-N-N. Pronounced Eamon. 0-1 on Megan. And a pitch from McCall. Change-up in there, stays up and out of the zone, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Friday Night Lights Series presented by Wirt Sports here at the ballpark at Rosemont, home of the 2008-2011 NPF champions, the Chicago Bandits, here at the ballpark at Rosemont. Their season will start May 24th and 25th in exhibition games. And then their opener in the regular season on June 4th. This stadium also home to the Roosevelt Lakers college softball team. Leiden High School's plays here. Numerous other games have played in college and high school throughout the course of the season. There's a strike on the outside corner for strike 3. And Jordan West will come up with 2 outs and nobody on. West is the 9-hitter. This is the 7-8 9-hitters due up in the order for Coach Wilhelm, as Grant gave up the 3 runs in the first. But again, there's only the 1 hit. We also had a walk, and a big error was made in the infield as well to help lead to the rally. The 0-1 pitch. There's a bouncer to third base. Play is made there. Throwing across, making it is Aaron Bankston, the third baseman, for out. Went right past for another. It's tough times now, Eric. And we've had some errors here. Should have been an out, but it's an error instead.
Defense just hasn't been there tonight for the Bulldogs. I mean, it's their second error of the game, and we're not even, and we're just in the second inning.
That keeps the inning alive for the top of the order, as Bankston has an error there. A couple errors in on the infield have affected Grant here so far behind McCall. Pitch is outside, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike on Maddie Zazas. Zazas, the shortstop, walked to lead off the bottom of the first, and then she came around to score. That one popped up behind home plate, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes here. You already know you have the big hitters in the lineup, like DeVito with that triple, so the walks, the errors leading into that middle of the order, certainly do not want those to give extra opportunities. That one is fouled away. Going over to the dugout, but running out of room, is the Grant first baseman, and that will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Fans, be sure to come and check out the Bandits this summer. Their season starts on June 6th. Tickets start at just $7.
The 1-2 pitch is hit into center field. That'll be a base hit. Coming around, speedy number 2 there for Mundeline. Jordan West able to come around on the RBI single. Or correction, that is... Yes, West coming around on the Zaza single, and that is a 4-0 lead.
Mundeline's just brought their game today, Johnny, with the bats. I mean, they are just all over it.
And it started with the error there as well, as you get into the way Mundeline's been able to start this game. A couple errors as well affecting, and now Carly Busher is up. Busher, who reached on the first error, that turned into 2 on and nobody out after what should have been 1 out and 1 on in the bottom of the first. It led to a rally as she came around in the 2-run triple by DeVito. 0-2 pitch, fouled away near the press box, right of the press box, and keeps the count at no balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, Mundeline's making the pitcher work. That's why they've been able to get all those runs early. It's 4-0, and the funny part about it, Johnny, is they've only had 2 hits to score the 4 runs.
Yeah, a couple errors. There goes Zazas with the stolen base. And she's in scoring position for Busher. Yeah, the 2 errors certainly affecting Grant, like we said. There's also been a walk. The other run scored on a sacrifice fly in the first inning. That sac fly by Bolgart. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there, but it gets through, and the runner's going to be safe. So Busher strikes out, but is still at first base. And just another example of somebody reaching base without a hit. That time she reached base on a strikeout.
They're doing something, Johnny, called manufacturing runs, like finding other ways to score runs. That's what they've been able to do today. Besides having 2 hits, they've been able to do it through errors, and that's why defense is huge in this league.
There was the big hit, though, by DeVito in that first inning that started to open things up for Mundeline as well. She hit a ball to deep center field that got down for a hit, and it turned into a triple as she worked around the bases, and now the 1-0 on DeVito is a strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. And if a pitcher sees her team struggling defensively, it could affect you, but you just got to keep your head in and keep doing your job.
She's an Eastern Illinois commit. Will be playing Division I softball this summer.
And DeVito's showing it. She has another RBI. Scoring on the play is Zazas, and it's 5-0.
Man, they are just all over the pitcher today. They are just chopping the balls. Now everybody's coming in for a conference to settle it down. Man, Johnny, I mean, they certainly brought the lumber today.
So did DeVito. She's 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, a triple and a single. An early candidate for our player of the game.
We'll see, Johnny. We still got a few innings to go. Eastern Illinois commit. Ashley graduated there.
Chicago Bandits staff member Ashley Westover from Eastern, and I'm sure every time somebody commits to Eastern Illinois, she's very proud of her alum. She might become best friends now with DeVito, and Eastern will have a pretty good hitter with what we're seeing here today.
Yeah, they chopped it right through the field, got past the shortstop. Now it's 5-0, and we're not even in the 3rd inning yet.
1-0 on Bolgard, who had a sacrifice fly to left field in the first inning. Score is 5-0, 3 in the first, 2 runs in the second. And we're 2-1 now on the Mundeline right fielder. As if you're McCall, the pitcher right now, you just got to find a way to continue to battle. This inning started with the air, and there's a high fly ball to left, but it hangs up and it's cut for out number 3. But 2 more runs cross the plate, started with the air. Another couple singles to score runs by Zazas and DeVito. And the score after 2, Mundeline 5 and Grant 0. This is the 2015 Friday Night Lights Series presented by Word Sports at the ballpark at Rosemont. Back here as we head to the top half of the third inning, Johnny Soul alongside Eric Katz. And for the play-by-play in the third, Eric, take it away.
Hello, everybody. It's Eric Katz, and there's a ball outside. 5-0. The Mundeline is all over the Bulldogs early of Grant. Here's the pitch. There's a shot, and it's going to be fielded cleanly for the out.
Nice catch by DeVito, who has been doing it at the plate. And able to come back and get that catch. DeVito at the plate has 2 hits in 2 at-bats and has 3 RBIs, and that time catches the Papa.
1 out now, nobody on for Aaron Bensting. Takes it upstairs for ball 1. 5-0 again. Mundeline has the lead. They've only been able to do it with 3 hits, but thanks to 2 errors. There's a shot up the middle. No problem for the second out. Fielded but cleanly by number 15, Brianna Adams.
Adams doing a nice job so far pitching her way through as the Mustangs keep hitting. She keeps pitching well as well.
Here comes Maddie Norgott.
Norgott walked in the first inning. Grant did have 2 on and 1 out in the first inning. That was their threat early, but they couldn't score.
Anything to contribute to the team. I mean, no matter what, man. I mean, even if it's just a walk or an error, I mean, you're doing something to contribute to your team's cause of trying to bring home the W. Throws inside for ball 2. Man, Adams has been doing pretty well thus far, Johnny.
Yeah, she's retired 5 or 6 straight. Make that 7 straight going back to the first inning.
That one's chopped foul. Kind of had to fight that one off, Johnny. I mean, it was thrown right at the hands.
Good job to... It's a perfect pitch, though, right in on the hands, like you said. Adams right there knows that if she puts it in that location, there's not a lot for a hitter to do.
Just got to foul it off. Here's the pitch. That one's thrown down, and that one's a fair ball. She's digging for second. The throw comes in, and it's going to be cut off. So a double for Norgott, and for the first time tonight, they have runners at second base in scoring position.
That was just a soft liner, tough play at third base by Busher, as she tried to get the sinking liner right off her glove in fair territory, and turned into a double, and Grant will take it.
Kenzie Sancton's up. Here's the pitch by Adams. That one's fouled back to the screen. 0-1. You know what, Johnny? Talking about how hard it is to field those. I mean, they're hit so short. I mean, they look easy coming off the bat, but the problem is the angle you're at third base, you're trying to get it. I mean, she was shifted over a little bit over to the right, and that one's going to be hit to the shortstop. And nice scoop by number 14, Caitlin Griffin, to get the third out. So the Bulldogs, they threatened with a runner on second base, but couldn't do anything with it. So as we head now into the third inning, your score is Mundeline 5, Grant nothing. You're watching Friday Night Lights at the ballpark in Rosemont, presented by Worth.
Back here, Johnny Soul and Eric Katz as we head into the bottom half of the third inning. 5-0 Mundeline, Eric.
Margaret Mahar is going to lead it off here for Mundeline. Here's the windup, the pitch, and that's a shot. That might fall in between them, but the center fielder drifts over and makes the catch. Johnny, for a moment there, I thought that was going to go in between them. I mean, it looked like it had the carry.
Yeah, nice job out there as you have to range over to that left center field spot. And like we always talk about on defense, that captain of the outfield, if the center fielder can get it, it is the center fielder's ball. And a nice job to take care of that one, call off her teammate, and make the catch.
Here's the pitch to Amanda Diaz. There's a shot, and it's up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit.
That was an absolute rocket, Eric, right back where it came from.
That was like a comet in the sky, Johnny. That's a comet hit.
Yeah, that was we talked about the way these balls come right back at it. We've seen a few go right through the middle, and no chance for McCall there as it rocketed into center, and Diaz has her first hit of the game.
Caitlin Griffin's is up now with a runner on first base and one out. Here's the pitch. There's a ball.
Last at bat, Griffin had a pop-up to McCall. McCall was able to make the catch. That pop-up for McCall, that was a lot easier than the last one that rocketed right past her.
And she goes back to first base, no problem. As the ball kind of just bounced off the glove. And it's 1-0. 1-1 now to Griffin.
Ball takes some tough bounces sometimes off that turf. You got to be ready.
Takes that one outside, ball 2. McCall seems to be struggling with command a little bit. I'm sure the cold weather is a huge factor in that. Here's the pitch. That takes that one in there for strike 2. 2-2 now to Griffin.
That one hung a little bit from McCall, but stayed in the zone. Might have got away with that. Didn't even seem like that pitch was exactly where she wanted it, but enough to get the strike.
Here's the pitch by McCall. That one's slapped to the left side, all the way into the left field bullpen. Still strike 2.
McCall here trying to battle through. And again, those 2 errors behind her certainly have not helped the cause for Grant.
Here's the pitch by McCall. That one's shot down the third base line. It's going to be a base hit. The throw to third base is offline. Good backup by the catcher, and there's 2 runners on base. Nice hit by Caitlin Griffin. An inside-out slap swing, Johnny.
And got it right past the third baseman, Bankston, and into left field for it to hit. As Mundeline here threatening once again in the bottom half of the third inning. That one fisted right past the player at third. Bankston could not get to it. Not an easy play. And another opportunity here for Mundeline as they work with the lead.
Megan Amon's up. She fouls that one off. 5-0. Mundeline has the lead. 2 runners on second and third, 1 out. That one's fouled back to the screen. So Johnny, does weather, depending on what level, who do you think the weather affects more? High school, college, or here in the NPF?
Certainly could affect a lot of athletes no matter what level you're at, but it's all about, I think physically it's going to affect everybody the same for the most part, just who can kind of battle it through mentally, who's ready to play, and you start to learn in that level. But all these players, no matter high school, college, or professionals, they played a lot of games. And I'm sure when you're loving softball and you get to the high school and college level and maybe even beyond, you're ready to play and ready to play no matter what the weather's like.
Here's the pitch by McCall. That one's fouled to the left. 2-2. Amon's making McCall work. She is working that at bat and trying to get those 2 runs in. She's really locked and loaded. Despite having a 5-run lead, they're not showing any mercy, Johnny. Here's the pitch from McCall. There's the swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout for McCall. That's going to be 2 outs now.
Eamon's now struck out twice in the game. So, while it's 5-0, it's Eamon that has yet to figure out McCall. She struck out twice. That's the 3rd strikeout from McCall overall.
Jordan West is up. Here's the pitch from McCall. Ooh, way inside there, and had to dart it back to 3rd base, but she gets in there safely. So it's going to be 1-0 now to Jordan West.
Not only the cold, but also obviously maybe another biggest factor would be the wind and how that affects the play.
When you live in the Chicagoland area and you play softball, you got to account for the wind, because that wind will howl as fast as it wants to. It will sometimes howl faster than it does on a mountain.
It's always tough. You know, these college teams in the Midwest, they got to schedule tournaments in California and Florida. A lot easier to play down there in March than it is to play in a snowstorm.
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So McCall works out of a jam now, but still, the Mundeline Mustangs lead 5-0. You're watching Friday Night Lights presented by Worth.
I think it's just kind of, staying composed, taking your time.
You're watching Friday Night Lights presented by Worth.
As we do more games, I'm sure it'll get more of a flow. Honestly, plus softball is not an easy sport. Yeah. Hey, broadcasted a lot of different sports. Softball is sometimes tough to. A lot of weird things happen.
Basketball is easy. The basketball, there's constant action.
Yeah.
It's just fast.
But you'll find a good flow. And as you get to the season, working with Mike is also a very comfortable environment. That guy's hanging out all the way down by the party deck.
Now batting, number 7.
I feel like he wants to get to the party deck, but he hasn't realized.
There's a swing and a miss by number 7. That is Becca Wold. Well, here's the pitch. She fouls that one back this time. 0-2 now.
One thing we've seen, Eric, from Brianna Adams, not only the location, but she's able to get some good movement, and the pitches are finding great spots. That's a couple times she's pitched it right on that inside corner. And if you keep living there and getting in on the hands of the hitters, not a lot for hitters to do.
Kind of reminds me of Greg Maddox. There's a ball just a little bit outside. You know, Johnny, regarding baseball, Greg Maddox was the best at painting the corner. That you don't know if you're going to get the call or not, but Greg Maddox's pitches were nasty. And I think that's what we're seeing from Brianna Adams tonight. Here's the pitch, inside, 2-2.
I think if you were told to put a pitch in a catcher's glove and you were able to just walk up to the catcher and hand it to her, Maddox still probably would put it in a better location than you. Not you personally, but everybody.
Brianna Adams strikes her out, and so it's 1 down now.
Adams moving right along here. Hasn't had a ton of strikeouts in the game, but a couple here of Wold.
And here's the pitch from Adams. There's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Whips it over to first base. No problem for the 2nd out.
She is in a full rhythm right now. There was that one double by Norgott that got past the 3rd baseman, but overall, she's retired 10 of the last 11 batters and has mowed her way through the first 2 outs of this inning.
Jenna Wilson now is up now for the Bulldogs. Here's the pitch by Adams. She takes that one for a ball. 1-0. Cold, windy night here tonight, Johnny. That wind has been howling. But look, Johnny. Look. Nope. Those clouds have moved all the way over there. And that pop out is taken by the third baseman. No problem. So 1-2-3 inning for Brianna Adams. And the score is 5-0 in favor of Mundeline. You're watching Friday Night Lights, presented by Worth. All right, we are back here at the ballpark in Rosemont with Madeline Zazas leads it off for Mundeline, and she takes it upstairs for ball one.
Zazas. Might be one of the best names so far of the Friday Night Lights.
So it just sounds like a cool name. It's got a catchy ring to it, Johnny.
So far, we've only had one night, but it's a good start to the name game.
I don't know if anybody can top that, Johnny.
We'll find out.
Maybe we should do our own bracket.
Eric Katz. That's a good name.
Not as cool as Zaza. Here's the pitch. Takes that one for ball 3. 3-0 now to Zazas. That name is cool.
Yeah, fun saying that.
I'm gonna roll with this. Here's the pitch. She takes that one low, and Zazas gets on first base.
You're not gonna say Maddie, probably. You're just gonna stick with her last name.
All right, and here comes number 9, Kelly Bushner. Back on the slab. Here's the pitch. And that one's a shot toward and that's going to get over the shortstop's head. So a single by Bushner, and they got runners on first and second.
Had Smith turned around there at short, the ball fisted in the air, kind of knuckled off the bat, and the shortstop Smith had some issues trying to get to that one, did not read that well, and it went right over to the end of the back of the turf and right into the outfield turf.
Here comes Maria DeVito. I don't believe she's gotten an out yet, Johnny.
DeVito has a triple, a single, and 3 RBIs in the game, and she's scored a run. She might drive the bus home, too.
Gotta put the team on the back. So DeVito takes that one for strike 1, the Eastern Illinois commit.
You can see why she's headed to a Division I school.
Yep, it's a lot of talent. Here's the pitch. But takes that one outside for a ball. Hitters count now, 2-1. 5-0. Mundeline has the lead. 5 runs, 6 hits for them, and 0 runs and 2 hits and 2 errors for the Bulldogs. That one's popped up, and the shortstop brings it in there for the first out.
And I'm sure McCall is happy to finally get DeVito out. And if you're the shortstop Smith, you misread the first ball that was hit to you this inning, and then the ball comes right back to you. You have another chance, and that time she was able to haul it in.
Hannah Bogart's up now with runners on first and second and 1 out. Here's the pitch by McCall. Takes that one a little bit outside for ball 1. So Johnny, while at the ballpark, has there ever been a night here that's been warm, aside from May?
Aside from the summertime?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be. These Friday Night Lights games in the last couple of years that I have been broadcasting them, cold weather has certainly been a theme. So bring your jackets and let's play some softball.
Takes that one a little bit high for ball 3.
Also, you see a wide variety of types of blankets as well at the Friday Night Lights. They're very some are very colorful.
Maybe we should have a contest who has the best blanket.
By the end of the series, we might see a lot.
There's the ball. There's ball 4. So bases loaded. Bases loaded and 1 out for number 17, Margaret Maher. She's Judson University commit. Maggie Mahar flew out deep earlier.
The Bandits, before they called this ballpark home, used to play at Judson University.
Yes, they even won. I think they even won a championship there.
Yeah, they were Elgin.
They were Lyle at Benedictine's Park.
And here they are in Rosemont.
Have a place of their own. Also the first ballpark in the United States dedicated to the sport at the pro level. I hope other ballparks follow.
Other ballparks, other teams, and certainly the sport of softball, whether at this level, at the high school ball, college, a lot of good talent around the country and even here in the Midwest as these players have been able to showcase their talent. Obviously, you get a lot of softball players coming in from California and out west, but the Midwest talent certainly growing here in the pool of players as you rotate through these levels.
Takes one out. That's a strike. Gets called there. 1-1. Yeah, I mean, one thing I've noticed up here is softball and baseball are big. They're bigger than, like, basketball has its moments, but they don't have the same, like, talent level. I know 2 different sports, but softball and baseball, I believe, are the biggest. That one's fouled back.
Yeah, and baseball season, on the high school level, it's in full swing, no pun intended. And then in Major League Baseball season coming around the corner here this weekend, and then the professional softball hit its way in the end of May.
Totally looking forward to that. We have 2 exhibition games here on one of them's on Memorial Day, the other one day before, when the Bandits play the Philadelphia Rebellion, and Elisa Goler's on that team.
Former Chicago Bandit here as these high school players on the field ready to roll.
2-2 now to Mahar. McCall back on the slab. Hicks is caught, and here's the pitch. And that one's shot through past the shortstop for a base hit. And again, and it rolls by the left fielder. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. And the 3rd one's coming home, and that throw is going to be, it's not going to be in time at third base. So an RBI triple now for Maher. And now it's 7-0. The Mundeline Mustangs have the lead.
Ball got right past the outfield, and on that turf, it can keep on rolling if you cannot cut it off and take the right angle. And nice job there. Mahar has kept on running around. The catcher able to get herself to third base and break this game open at 8-0 as it just rolled all the way. And again, that's one adjustment you have to make on this field. One of the many adjustments. With the ball rolling through that turf, goes very quickly, and that big hole got past the fielders all the way to the wall and turns into a triple. And this game is certainly breaking open, and looked like now we have a pinch runner there. Victoria Avis pinch running at third base for Mundeline.
Takes one low. 2-0. 8-0 now. The Mustangs now lead over the Bulldogs. And Brianna Adams also, we can't forget the fact that she's pitching a masterpiece.
2-hit shutout so far.
That one's shot back to the shortstop, and that will be for the 2nd out. And now up is number 7, That is Olivia Mikulski. Actually,
That is the PA, you're right. Olivia Mikulski is pinch hitting here for Mundeline. Is starting to get a couple pinch hitters here for Coach Wilhelm.
and that's going to be popped up for a can of corn to the second baseman for the third out. But the Mustangs do get 3 runs thanks to the RBI triple by Margaret Maher. And so as we head to the bottom of the inning, the score is 8-0 in favor of the Mundeline Mustangs. You're watching Friday Night Lights at the ballpark in Rosemont, presented by Worth.
Mustangs do get 3 runs thanks to the RBI triple by Margaret Maher. This is going to last me a few days. And so as we head to the bottom of the inning, the score is 8-0 in favor of the Mundeline Mustangs. The weather is something. You're watching Friday Night Lights. I would say so. Rosemont, presented by Worth.
What year is the pitcher? They don't have 3 years on that.
I think we should have a runner when the pinch hitters come up, like someone informed us.
That'd be cool, but it's gotta be focused on all this stuff. You can't really just deck down and blanket purple and little design.
I don't think he's complaining.
Nope.
Full moon.
He needs something to protect the warmth for his bald head, though.
That's it.
He's got everything covered except.
It's awesome. It's good to have hair. Oh, I didn't notice those were out. I thought they were meant to. It's my reflection on the lights. Dang it. I didn't really notice it was off. I thought they were just on.
Go. You want to go? And welcome back to the ballpark here in Rosemont. 8-0. Mundeline has the lead over Grant. And here's Brianna Adams. Here's the pitch. Takes that one for a ball.
Eric, here as you look at the way Adams has been pitching, her team getting a lot of runs for her. And Adams not in the lineup. Obviously, a lot of pitchers at the high school level will also hit, but she's strictly the pitcher here and doing a great job in that role as her team supports her on the offensive side as well.
Takes that one upstairs for a ball. 2-1 now. Brianna Adams up to this point has only given up 2 hits and hasn't allowed a run across the plate. Here's the pitch. Takes that one outside. 3-1. It's so cold out, Johnny, that even the players are batting in jackets. Looks like
I don't blame them.
Neither do I. Sometimes the Under Armour can't help. There's fouled back. Check out the moon. Check out the moon, Johnny. Full moon up there.
On a Friday night.
Well, definitely a beautiful night.
Kicking off Easter weekend.
Yep. We want to wish every viewer and every fan a happy Easter. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Brianna Adams.
One thing to protect, but that certainly was going to be ball 4 as it sailed its way up in the zone, but Grant trying to find a way to get something going. And right there, you certainly noticed she went high for that, and another strikeout for Adams. Although she's not had a lot of strikeouts in the game, but her defense playing well like that.
And the third baseman, that's number 9, Kaylee Bushner. She's able to get the second out. The ball was chopped, and she made a good play on it. Nice job not trying to get too in front of it or too behind it.
Adams really in a rhythm for sure when you look at the way she's been in control of this game, making good pitches, mixing it around, able to get inside and a lot of the hitters like we talked about, working that inside corner just like that, right in on the zone. Really has not given these Grand Bulldog hitters much of a chance to get the bat out in front of the plate.
Shelly Uwat is up, and she's going to foul that one back. Ooh, look out.
The pinch hitter here for Grant, Uwat. Some of these pinch hitters with the jackets, Eric, it's not easy to tell who they are without the numbers showing.
Might as well give them their own, and so that
there was one high school here last year forget which one it was, but their jackets had uniform numbers too, which was extremely helpful.
There's a fly ball, and it's going to be foul. Yeah, I'd probably say whoever the high school was. I wasn't there, but for you, I'd give him a thank you card.
That was pretty good. Not going to expect schools to have numbers on the jackets, but that one helped out.
Yeah, pretty expensive. Not even Major League Baseball has that. Or the NPF, for that matter. Here's the pitch by Adams. Hi, good, nice frame by number 17, Margaret Maher.
Yeah, you could tell there that she tried to bring that ball down for her pitcher.
Here's Adams. There's a swing and a miss. And that is the third strike. That's another strikeout for Brianna Adams. And so, the same script, Johnny. The Bulldogs go down 1-2-3. And so we're heading now. It's 8-0. The Mustangs have the lead. And you're watching Friday Night Lights, presented by Worth. All right, we are back at the ballpark in Rosemont, doing Friday Night Lights presented by Worth between the Grant Bulldogs and the Mundeline Mustangs. 8-0 in favor of the Mustangs. 8-7-0 for the Mustangs. 0-2-2 for the Bulldogs. As for those who haven't come in, Brianna Adams of the Mundeline Mustangs is pitching a gem.
And Adams is going to pinch hit here for Eamon. So Adams here coming in. She was mowing them through on the pitching circle. This will be her first at bat. And she was not hitting in the game, but she'll come in the designated player spot for Eamon. And that will get Adams a chance to not only pitch here in this game, but show off her hitting ability. And there, Eric, she showed off her footwork, able to get off of that pitch that was heading right toward her feet.
Dancing with the Stars potential. Here's the pitch. Takes that one upstairs for ball 2. 2-0 now. Here's the pitch. Swings and a miss for strike 1. 2-1 now on Adams. Adams, Johnny, tonight has just been locked in, hitting her spot. Forcing the Bulldogs to chase. There's a ground ball hit shortly over to the second baseman, and the second baseman flips it over for no problem for the first out.
This is a new pitcher for Grant. The name is unknown, but with the jacket again. But a new pitcher coming in for McCall, who ended up pitching through the 4 innings in this game. 8 runs, 7 hits. You go back to the early part of the game, though, Eric. The Mustangs scored their first 4 runs on only a couple hits. There were a couple errors in the game, a sacrifice fly. So early on, the Mustangs were able to get it done with a couple big hits, especially from DeVito, but there were a lot of other miscues behind McCall that affected her performance today.
The ball was chopped by Parney, and the shortstop gets gets it for the second out.
Parney, another pinch hitter, as we're starting to see that time of the game here, just like we saw in the first game. These coaches starting to bring in the substitutions here in an 8-0 game here. Our first game ended up being 6-5. What a classic. In our first game, Marist was down 5-2 in the 7th inning. They scored 3 runs to tie the game. Then Plainfield East regained the lead on a walk-off, and they won it 6-5.
And here is Victoria Avis. This is the first time we're seeing her tonight.
She pinch ran in the last inning. Came in to pinch run, and now she'll come to pinch hit.
Yep. And that one, she takes that one off the foot, and just like that, she's on base.
It's a nice way to come in and pinch hit, and one of the first pitches you see, it hits you in the foot.
Yep. Sometimes that happens.
Sure, she wanted to hit.
Yeah, she's on base anyway. Gotta count your blessings.
So who's the next batter? We're trying to figure that out here.
As we're back in the game, and
looks like it'll be.
And look, I saw the ump.
Sammy Kolosik.
Looked like the ump gave a warning to the dugout.
I don't think that was a warning. They were just pointing to the dugout to say the substitution was coming in.
Oh. Okay. Kolosik leads off. Takes that one down the middle for a strike. 0-1 now to Kolosik. Here's the pitch. Takes that one high for a ball. So I think, Johnny, this is the first time we're seeing her tonight in this 8-0 game in favor of the Mustang. Takes that one upstairs for a ball. 2-1. Seems like a picky hitter, Johnny. Likes to pad the OBP.
Working the count, finding one that she can drive, and coming in off the reserve, just trying to do a nice job. You know, sometimes when you are coming in to pinch hit, you want to be anxious, but a very patient hitter here.
Takes that one for a strike. And it's a full count now and 2 outs, and 1 runner on base, who was hit by pitch earlier. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And so the Mustangs put a runner on first base, but can't do anything with it. And so the score remains 8-0 in favor of the Mundeline Mustangs. You're watching Friday Night Lights at the ballpark in Rosemont, presented by Worth. All right, I'll intro you. And so, listeners and fans, you heard me do the play-by-play. Now I'm pitching it back to Johnny. Johnny, take over.
Thank you, Eric. We go here to the top half of inning number 6. And Aaron Bankston, the top of the order here, due up for Grant. Bankston, followed by Norgott. And then Kenzie Sankin. Bankston 0 for 2. Adams back out here for inning number 6. That one fisted right past the head coach, Mike Dolezal. And it is 1 ball and 1 strike. Mustangs with 3 runs in the first inning, 2 in the second, and 3 more in the fourth, as they have continued to work their way toward this lead and increase the lead as the game has gone on. There's a base hit for Bankston, just the 3rd hit of the game for the Bulldogs, the Grant. But they look to get something going here late in the ball game. And a good start for their leadoff hitter at the top, and it'll bring up Maddie Norgott to the plate.
Maddie Norgott's up. Now, that was a good hit. That was a good hit. I mean, she poked it right through the infield past the second baseman. It was a hard hit ball. Second baseman didn't have a chance of getting there.
Norgott's reached both times she's been up. She walked in the first inning and then doubled in the third. The pitch here is swung on, and that is hit to the shortstop. Will be a tough play, and there's no play as an infield single for Norgott. 2 on and nobody out as she hit that in a perfect spot toward the third base side, and the shortstop ranging over could not come up with the play, going away from the base runners, and it turns into a 2 on, nobody out. This is Grant's biggest threat since they had 2 on and 1 out in the first inning.
Yeah, tough little play. The third baseman also tripped on the play, tripped on some turf possibly, and it was just a tough play for the shortstop. But she made a good decision in not throwing that ball, because it could have been wild and she wouldn't have been able to get the runner anyway. But it was a smart play. Good job staying low and keeping with the play and limiting the damage. Even
though that was a soft hit, this is the third time through the order here for Grant, so maybe here they've gotten a couple swings, couple at bats and looks at the pitcher Adams. Maybe a chance here to try to get something going with the middle of the order. Due up now as Sankin is up, had one of the hits. Only had 2 hits coming into this inning. They've doubled that total. On the base hit to right and the infield single to short by their first 2 hitters in the lineup. And this is the 3-hitter Sankin, the junior for Mike Dolezal's team. And that is in there, and the count's 3 balls and 1 strike.
3-1 now. If Brianna Adams doesn't want to walk her, because that will be the first time she's tested. But it will be interesting to see how she responds to being tested.
Becca Wold on deck, and there's ball 4. So bases are full of Bulldogs with nobody out in the top half of the 6th inning. And this is the first sign of some adversity here. The pitcher Adams has been in a great rhythm, really mowing through this lineup, and now a couple pitches out of the zone that time. You look at the first 2 at bats, the one infield single, another one shot through the hole into right field. Really not too much to be concerned with if you're the coach for Mundeline, but then you see the walk and the command being thrown off. Then you start to see exactly if she's still in the right groove and in the right rhythm this late in the ball game.
I want to see how Adams responds to being tested like this with 0 outs and bases loaded, because this is the first time Grant's really put some pressure on her. I'm kind of curious to see whether or not she'll be able to come through and be able to get out of this, and possibly get at least a couple outs out of it, even if she does give up a run, because she's pitched well.
And it's the cleanup hitter now. So not only the bases loaded, nobody out, but you also have the cleanup hitter. There's the bouncer to second, throw home, and out. They got her out. Great job there by the catcher Mahar with the slide, taking the feet out from underneath there, but she was able to stay on the plate. Coach Dolezal questions that, and now they're going to have a conference between the umpires. The first game, there was a call that was ruled one way, and then there was a conference, and it was overturned the other way. That time, though, the ruling on the turf stands. If you go to a high school football type play, and then you look here at the play there by the second baseman. Nice job there to come up, and the catcher Mahar, great job to stay with the play with the runner coming her way.
It was great also for her to keep control of the ball, because sometimes you'll lose the ball, and that can be big trouble. That one's popped up to the center fielder, and she's able to get it.
There he will throw home. Nice relay, throw in and out. What a play, and that is the end of the inning. Great job there by the Bulldogs, Grant, on a double play into center field. Wow, that's a tremendous relay. The center field threw into the shortstop, who throws it home to get the out. What a play.
2 great plays by Mahar, also hanging on to the ball back to back. First time she was she was at the right place, but she had her foot on the bag, but she was taken out. Then there was a low throw, and she was able to keep it out and throw the Grant Bulldog runner at first to preserve the shutout by Brianna Adams. A beautiful play, Johnny.
And the throw arrived at the same time as the runner. Bang, bang play, and it was worked to perfection. Man, it'll be a greatly executed play that Mundeline can talk about after this game. 8-0 your score. We go to the bottom of the 6th on the Friday Night Light Series presented by Worth. Back here as we go into the bottom half of the 6th inning, we found out the new pitcher was Sydney. I can't even pronounce the pronunciation guide. Sydney Goosley for Grant. Excuse me there, Sydney. Sorry about that. But the Grant Bulldogs are down 8-0 here in the second inning of work here for Sydney Wesley, who comes in here. Sydney Gessley, that's her name. Sydney Gessley, got it. And there's a strike on the outside corner, no balls. And 1 strike on Maria DeVito. DeVito here in this ball game is 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. She popped out to short. This is her first look at the reliever, Gessley, who came in last inning, had her jacket on last inning, decided to take it off here this inning.
Wonder how she... That one slapped it off the third baseman for a base hit. DeVito's going to be digging for second. Here's the throw, and she is safe.
Great job there, Eric, by DeVito to come on and not only settle for one base, but quickly hustle and get around to second on the ball that slapped past Bankston. And Bogart here is up. And you go back, Eric, to that play in the top half of the inning, the relay into the shortstop. Great play. It was caught in left field by Diaz. She threw to short to Zazas. And Zazas throws home to get the out. So they got 2 players out at home. They got out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. That was tremendous defense, especially on that relay, a clean relay. That one popped to second, and it's caught for out number 1 here. But you go back to that relay throw, you couldn't really draw that up any better.
Yes, I mean, that was good team softball right there. That's a play you'd probably see at the higher level, not at this level. It's really rare for that to happen. They played great team softball, and they were able to get the runners out. And also terrific balance by Maher, being taken out both times, and also having to deal with a low throw. Because other than that'd typically be a wild throw, or the throw wouldn't be in time. But Maher had great poise and was able to get the out. Team softball is what's been winning it tonight.
There's a bouncer to third, and Bankston, that's a good play there. So nice job. A tough short hop, was able to trap it on the run and make the throw.
Now DeVito's at third base, not far, only 50 feet away from home. And hopefully Amanda Diaz will be able to bring her in, Johnny, with an 8-0 lead. Can't be too cautious in this game.
Throw back over to first. No balls and 1 strike. And it is Amanda Diaz up here. Diaz singled. And also grounded to second. Popped to short. The 0-1 pitch is in there on the outside corner. And it is no balls and 2 strikes here on Diaz number 3, the left fielder, who started that relay on the play where they got the runner out at home. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Gessley gets out of that, and that will end the inning. We go to the 7th. The Bulldogs need 8 to tie and 9 to take the lead. You are watching the Friday Night Light Series presented by Word Sports at the ballpark in Rosemont. Back here as we go to the top half of the 7th inning, and it is Mundeline up on top 8-0. Only scored in 3 different innings, but a 3-spot, a 2-spot, and a 3-spot again. They scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the fourth. Some big innings. And Adams, meanwhile, the pitcher here for Mundeline, has thrown a shutout. And we hit into the top of the 7th. Grant had the bases loaded and nobody out last inning. And they got out of the jam with 2 plays at home throwing out runners. One was easier, but still a nice play. The second baseman had a force out, threw home, and a nice job by the catcher. Wasn't easy for the catcher. She had to get the slide coming in at her feet. She was able to stay on the base as she got tripped over on the foot. But a nice play there, and then the even better relay on a fly out to left field. The runner Tad from third. They relayed to short. The shortstop Zazas threw home. That was a perfectly executed play. Here's a leadoff walk. So you're starting to see now, Eric, Grant is getting some base runners here in the late innings, but still trying to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, they have the defense of Mundeline to thank for them not being on the scoreboard. Because they're playing defense softball, they're playing offense softball. The entire engine is rolling. I can't compliment them enough, Johnny.
Clean game for sure for the Mustangs. It's happened from the beginning of this game. Complete effort for Coach Brett Wilhelm. You know, some days your offense needs to pick up your defense or your pitching staff. Some days you'll have a pitching duel. It always works for a coach when everything is flowing together, and that's what's happened here tonight.
Brianna Adams gets another strike, and yeah, I mean, they have not left a stone unturned tonight. Perfect game. I think they're playing pretty close to a perfect game of softball, except for the hits, and except for the few hits they gave up.
Like this one into right field, a base hit. Now they're going to run around to third. Here's another relay. That time Zazas does not make the throw, but it keeps the runner at first base. First and third, nobody out, but you still see the relay get down there. But that time, still a very aggressive play by Grant. You saw yourself get thrown out at home. You know you're down by 8 and need base runners and can't run into outs, but still a good job by Coach Dolezal, still making and putting the pressure on the team, saying, hey, you got the relay once. You might not do it again that time. And there's a runner on third here, first and third, and it'll bring up Sydney Gessley, who came in to pitch for the starter Hannah McCall a couple innings ago, and this will be her first at bat.
Let's see how she does here with runners on the corners. I mean, she got out of a bases loaded jam with no outs. But Brianna Adams is just, she's been able to get out of jams. I mean, that was the first time, Johnny, we saw her tested, and she passed the first one. Hopefully she can pass the second one.
Here's the 2-0, and it's a little high. That's just on the strike zone, excuse me. A belt high strike, it's 2-1. Adams has been high with some pitches, but she's continued to pitch all the way. A complete game so far. She's trying to finish it off. Bouncer to short. Zazas backs up with it. Fires and makes the throw, and what a stretch. The run will score, but what a great throw by Zazas, and what a absolutely flexible, solid play at first base made there by Olivia Mahalski, who's the new first baseman. She came in reserve, and what a job there by both sides. But the run does score. Grant's on the board.
Well, she practically did the splits on that play, Johnny. I've never seen a play so much better. They're playing good defense. Even though the run does score, they still got the out, though, which is pretty much all that matters, especially with the speedster going down their first base line.
I'm not even going to begin to think about how that split was completed there at first base. I would not be able to do that. Here's a little swinging bunt. The catcher comes out, Mahar, to make the play for out number 2. It was an RBI ground out, so the Bulldogs do get on the board. They trail 8-1, but they're down to their last out here. And coming to the plate will be Aaron Bankston as they're back to the top of their order again. Runner on third base, 2 outs. And here is Adams, Eric, who's trying to complete this game. You know, she wanted to keep the shutout, but she still has pitched a tremendous game.
I mean, it could have been worse, Johnny. Bases loaded, no out. I mean, you're not expecting her to get out of that clean, but she did unscratched.
8-1, Mundeline trying to win this game here in the Friday Night Lights series at the ballpark at Rosemont. 1 out away, and it's low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Our first game between Plainfield East and Marist. Plainfield East won on a walk-off sacrifice fly by a score of 6-5. That game a lot closer than this one. Marist in that game was down 5-2 in the top of the 7th inning. They scored 3 runs to tie the game, but then fell by a score of 6-5 as Plainfield East regrouped and got the walk-off win. Bankston waits back on that change, hits it into foul territory beyond first base, and they're down to their last strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Adams trying to get the complete game. There's a runner at third base. Bankston trying to keep it alive, bring that run home. And here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a bouncer to short. Zazas has it, throws, and the game is over. Mundeline wins it by a score of 8-1, Eric, here on a cold Friday night.
How about that for Brianna Adams? 5 hits and 1 run, which she got the out, just gave up the run. But for the most part, a beautiful masterpiece painted by Brianna Adams, and also an excellent night for the Bats of Mundeline High School. How about that, Johnny? 8-1. I can't complain there with the especially the team defense they played. They not only could hit, they also played great defense. You got to give them credit for that. But all in all, the night belongs to them.
Mustangs win it by a score of 8-1. And we will take a quick break and come back here in a little bit. You are watching the 2015 Friday Night Lights series presented by Worth Sports. Back here as we are at the ballpark at Rosemont, Johnny Soul, Eric Katz joined me here as well, and now we are joined by DeVito of Mundeline, and you'll talk about the game here. Overall, complete performance. You came out, it was cold, but you guys seemed to be ready. Just talk about the performance today, and as players, how you felt about your win here tonight.
We were definitely excited. Definitely a team win. Everybody did their part, and we hit the ball really well as a team.
Especially you with 3 hits there. You got that triple there in the first inning. Kind of helped set the tone. A couple errors there by Grant, but overall you guys seemed to get on in your hits. Talk about your performance at the plate in those 3 hits and how you felt in the batter's box today.
I just wanted to put the ball in play. I just wanted to get base hits, just to move the runners around, and my teammates did a good job to get on base before me, so I was really happy about that.
Talk about Adams in the circle tonight. Obviously, you guys were hitting, and then she had a battle through in the last couple innings, but overall, a very solid performance from your pitcher, and always helps to have that too.
Yeah, definitely. She really stepped it up, and same with Maggie Mahar, our catcher, and she just kept hitting the zone, and Maggie kept blocking balls, and it was good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Star player there for Mundeline, 3 hits and 4 at-bats. We'll bring in the head coach of Mundeline, Brett Wilhelm, here in a sec as his team wins it by a score of 8-1 here tonight on the Friday Night Lights Series presented by Word Sports. And Coach, thank you for joining us here tonight.
No problem, thank you.
Talk about your team. Obviously, there's days, we talked about there's days where the defense has to pick up the offense. Sometimes the hitters have to pick up the pitchers, but some days it's a complete effort. And overall, it seemed to us that everybody, all stages here came to play here tonight.
Yeah, this is our best game of the season. We've got 8 games in so far. We're 6-2. But when you have pitching like that and you don't have any errors in the field and you put the ball in play, I mean, that's one of the best team wins I've been a part of in a long time. I mean, that was just a great win. And like I said, all facets of the game were right on. So a lot of fun, obviously, to play here and to see a win like that. Future's bright for us, so it's good.
Talk about that play in the 6th inning. The bases are loaded, nobody out. Not only do you get the force out at home, but then that relay there that came in to short, you couldn't really draw that up any better than that, the way that relay came in.
And that's actually one thing we've been very impressed with this year is our outfield play. They're making plays for us, and when you hit the cut and you have a good relay like that, I mean, you can't draw that up any better. And then Maggie just did a wonderful job today behind the plate on those back-to-back plays, saving us runs. So, I mean, it was just great team win.
Talk a little bit about DeVito touched on it, but talk about the performance in the circle as well from Adam. She battled through for you, had completed the performance. A couple stretches there late, but her defense helped out. But overall, had to be impressed with Adams.
Bree pitched a wonderful game. She's done a really good job for us to open up conference with a win like this. And as a freshman, I'm going in, throwing strikes, trusting her defense, and she had good movement on her pitches today. So. She's done great. She's done a really good job.
Lastly, as we go in here to the rest of the season, like you said, a good team win to kind of continue things. Maybe the weather will get warmer at some point. We'll find out. But you're a football guy too. You're okay with that. But your team seems to battle through that. And talk about kind of the outlook here for the rest of the season. Do you think?
Right now, I mean, we've had, like I said, we've already got 8 games, and at this point last year, it was, we only had a couple. So. I think our team can play in any weather. I mean, our girls are very mentally tough, and they love playing the game. They love being around each other. I couldn't be more excited about this team, this future. I mean, a great group of girls, love them to death, and very, very excited to see what this year brings us because I think we can do a lot of great things, and I think they're starting to understand that, especially errors have kind of been costing us a little bit this year, and we've won games in doing so. But if you can have no errors, you're a really tough team to beat. So hopefully we continue doing this.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate everything.
Coach Brett Wilhelm and Mundeline. Also thank Maria DeVito for helping us out as well with the interview as the final score. Mundeline wins it over Grant by a score of 8-1 here. We also thank Eric Katz, my color commentator here today. And also Ben Erickson for helping us out, the camera and the production, the entire Chicago Bandits staff, and all our high schools tonight for helping us out as well. Plainfield East and Marist earlier And then also here tonight in the nightcap, Mundeline and Grant. We'll be back throughout the course of these Friday nights with more action here in high school softball the rest of the way on the 2015 Friday Night Lights Series. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you have a wonderful Easter and a great rest of your weekend. Here, this is Johnny Soul saying good night from the ballpark at Rosemont in the 2015 Friday Night Lights Series presented by Word Sports.